Greetings and salutations, fans from across the universe. This is Rick Copple, R.L. Copple, and I'm here with Grace Bridges, and she's making a little video out here in the middle of Cedar Ridge Preserves, just in southwest Dallas, Texas. And we met her up here. She's going to a conference, and guess we're just had a big nature walk and sweated and had a lot of fun. And so here we are.
Here we are. So, Rick, tell us a bit about your books. You've got them all here. I actually have never seen the third one before today, so this is a
you haven't?
first for me. Yeah.
In person?
Yeah, not in person. I just published it, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, of course, a lot of them, a lot of the authors in Splashdown books were in Aqua Synthesis, which I had two short, or is it three?
Two or three?
Three stories, I think.
Did they? Something like that.
A couple of flash fictions and a more regular short story that were in here, and so this is really good. I know somebody bought a lot of copies recently, so you probably want to get this. It's got a lot of good reviews on it, and there's a lot of good stories in it. And we got, this is my first book that came out, Reality's Dawn. Starts off in the world of Cisco and all the adventures that he had, getting a ring that allowed him to do miracles on behalf of God to help people and not to help himself. And so he would be cursed if he helped it for himself with it. And so it tells the stories of him going through various and sundry adventures, and they all link together to form kind of a bigger story that leads to excitement and him dealing with his own sins in a way. So that's a pretty interesting book. A lot of people have liked that one. And then we've had the sequel, Reality's Descent, which is more novella, more novel, and a little bit more of the short story format in a sense, but not quite. It's more novel than short story. So, but there's a lot of episodes of different things that happen. All sorts of stuff happens in this one, from flying islands, wizard mazes, all sorts of various and sundry exciting things that happen, as well as just a big overall story plot that goes through it. And, I know Grace liked this one, so she wanted to run it.
So we published those two pretty close together.
Yeah, pretty close together.
In 2010.
This one actually used to be, Reality's Dawn used to be a smaller novella that had 5 short stories in it, and this increased it to 10, which made 15. And then this one, of course, came out after that one, about 2 months later, I guess it was. And that was back in 2011. And early this year, the third series and the finale of the whole series came out, and that was Reality's Fire. And it was exciting because this one, I think I wrote it back in 2006 and been working on trying to get it published for quite some time because various things in my previous publisher kind of went wacko. So it was exciting to see this one come out.
So this is the first time this one's come out, whereas the others were more or less reprints that we repackaged them a bit.
Right, so this is the first one that is totally brand new of the series that Splashdown did. First one has new short stories in it. The bulk of it's new, but this one is all completely new story.
And this one I did the cover on it completely myself, which
Yeah.
is not often that happens, but it became necessary in this case.
Yeah, that's the second time it's happened, once with Bill and once with you, so sometimes it just doesn't work out with the artist to get things together at the right minute.
Didn't work out too bad, huh?
Yeah, so it's a pretty nice looking cover. And as you can tell, it has a flying horse in it. What could be more exciting than that? But I really like this series. It kind of brings the whole theme of the series together at the end.
So you'd call this a trilogy, right?
Yeah, this was a trilogy.
Now. But the story's not over.
Right, I ended up having a spin-off out of this one that goes into the next character's story, which is Colbert, the one that you'll find out at the end of this without giving away too much if you haven't read it. And it actually ended up becoming more of a dragon story.
Cool.
And so and you learn one of the ways that this world relates to our world and how they intersect together with each other.
That's very interesting, because we haven't had that so far at all.
Right. The world doesn't even have a name as a whole, and it was kind of started out not naming it because it was just a short story when I started it. The first story in Reality's Dawn was just a short story I wrote. It kind of grew from there organically. And I never gave the place a name, and finally decided not to, specifically because it wasn't more of a city-state type situation that had grown up, and so nobody had a country per se where the whole thing was named this or that. And I thought that might be aside from
Pretty big place, isn't it?
a little unique. Yeah, he's got some maps in it.
We have a pretty big map here. This is even bigger than the one in the previous book.
Yeah, yeah. This one has got the part of the map that goes off this side here. There's all this stuff here. They have a little bit of part that matches, so you can match them up. But yeah, and then this one expands out that way. And actually, the next book expands the map slightly. Where am I at? Off in this direction. So it's the opposite direction from that.
Opposite direction, yep.
And
It
there's
just
another
keeps on getting bigger.
There's another sea over here.
Okay.
And
yeah, well, you'd expect that eventually.
and so, but a lot of the story happens in this area, and you meet, and Kaylee appears in the next book, grown up more.
Now she's named after your daughter, isn't she?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I started out when one of the books I wrote, Mind Game, which I published myself, and that one I used Jeremy, my third son, or my third child, second son. We've got 3 kids altogether, and so he kind of got named the first one, and so the other 2 were like, when are we going to get put in a book? So that was Kaylee and Nathan, and so I put Kaylee and Nathan in this book. So, but then Cole and Colbert and all the other characters are just all ones that I came up with. They aren't matching anybody particular that I know, other than, you know, pieces of character traits maybe, but not any one person. And so it was kind of funny the way that happened, but all the kids that are now in the stories.
That's great. And do they enjoy that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. As like I say, they kind of said, when are we going to be in a story? And then it's like when these one got published before Mind Game, Jeremy was like, when is mine going to get published? You know, so.
I know Mind Game's got a lot of fans of that there too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and Hero Game, which came out not too long ago, I still have to do the print book on it. But the ebook's been out for a few months now.
Good stuff. Alright, well, let's wrap it up, and thanks for watching us here in Dallas, and we will see you again later.
Next time.